Um,
How long do I want to keep playing ball with these guys? Like, I can keep pretending to be one of them. Ah, no, I just want to punch some faces in. Come on out here.
all right, did that fix it?
Let me look at it.
Or am I still robotic?
No, you're not so bad.
Oh, okay.
No, no, you sound fine.
Um,
Oh, red likes. There we go.
yeah, so like little stuff like that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea to just like cropping that. I mean, that ended up taking me maybe an hour, and that's
An
just
hour just to crop that?
I said maybe an hour. I think like the
Oh
actual
wow,
time it was
okay.
like a half hour, 45 minutes, and that's mainly because I was messing around with trying to get the focus on each person. But
Okay, yeah, I mean, I saw you did some editing with the video, and that looked cool.
but that like that type of thing like that'll go a lot quicker the more I do it.
Yeah,
Um,
I did like that. I saw that. I was just like, ooh, nice. The zoom ins and zoom outs.
yeah, I was trying to give it like a better feel for like having um, it's like instead of just having us talking, be like, oh, I can give focus on whoever's actually talking.
Nice.
Oh, let's switch to the other channel real quick. I say that and then I did it.
I beat you to it. You can't throw me in the back of a van. I'm kidnapping myself.
I'm not in the back of your van. Your van's on the outside of me.
I'm wearing it like a mech suit. Just a real clunky mech suit.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch to this scene while I mess around with OBS and get a new scene in there. But so, do you want to talk about?
Okay, so for these characters that we're rolling, uh, did you have some sort of goal outside of just like watching us like come up and conceptualize a character, or did you have some sort of level in mind?
No, I didn't think of it like. And I'm trying to look at something. All right, I'll just put it under here. Um, no, I didn't have anything like specific in mind. Um, I was just thinking like if you felt like rolling a character, you could roll a character.
All right, all right. Yeah. Yeah. We were just talking
I mean,
earlier.
we're fighting 17 bandits. It seems reasonable to roll new characters. I mean,
No, I
I mean,
was.
we got this, but like, let's be real.
Character rolling videos for like one of our campaigns could also be interesting to see. Like, it's just like we got like such a weird system for coming up with skills.
That's what I did. Oh. Um. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. No, I was just like for me when I was first talking about it, like initially I was just gonna go back and like record me explaining on like the last module we did with that Kenny ran, and I was just gonna take like one of the characters I wrote, or I was gonna take like Sarah and just figure out where it was for like level 5, and just roll it and just like explain and how I rolled it at level 5, maybe re-roll like the base stats or whatever, just to be like realistic. Um, just to get a feel for like what I'm doing. It's like, okay, I'm at least familiar with the character, and then like from there, be like I was just thinking like, oh, I kind of want to do a pirate of sorts, so I'm gonna pick this class, or whatever, and then just I don't know, just roll a character for any old character, not any for any
Heavy
particular
Pathfinder.
reason.
No, doesn't
What?
matter.
That
5e Pathfinder. All right,
I'm
all
pretty
right.
sure 5e is more popular across the internet just because it's the main one. Um, but like even Pathfinder would get views and or get the same. It probably would get hit less, a little less than 5e, but like it still will work for the purpose of it.
Okay, so if we were like, okay, if I want to roll Drusilla for a 5e campaign, talk through it, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Right, that kind of makes sense. Here I was trying to like brainstorm a bunch of random ass characters. Although I was going to do a Hexblade, which isn't so different from Drusilla. Actually, I think Hexblade is the closest 5e equivalent.
I mean, if you want to do that, you can more than welcome to. Um, cancel. Wrong one.
Trying to think. Because I played Donnie Danger, and he was kind of like this weird fighter barbarian hybrid, which I don't even know what class I would make him in 5e. Uh, I have Gale, Monk. I could do Monk. Hell, we haven't really had a whole lot of characters. Drusilla, of course.
I mean, just for the time I've known you, you've had probably like 6.
Well, two of them were. Well, one of them was a normal fighter. That was an actual 5e campaign. That was a long time ago. I don't even remember anything about him. Grom was classic. Barbarian. Sure, Adam's got a lot of cool characters. You played a lot more 5e than either of us. You could fucking show us how
I
you came
mean,
up with million spiders.
yeah, my first thought was Arachnid Person, and like the reason they started out the flavor Warlock they started out, um, which was mainly like Great Old One because they have this innate telepathy. Because what is a skin suit full of spiders bad at? Enunciating things when they're talking. They don't really have the mouth parts. So it's telepathy or a hiss. That's about all you're going to get out of this guy.
See, I think
And
that's super badass.
I can go into the reasoning for the, you know, why I picked, I think it was a Glacia lineage tiefling. Um, I could go into the nitty gritty of that. Um, they were made in Adventure League, and I forget what season it was, but they just introduced this mechanic where at the end of every module, you would get so many points for treasure, basically. And you could save these points up, and then there was like a catalog, essentially, that you could pick, like, okay, I'll get this, that, or the other thing. First thing I had to get was Slippers of Spider Climb, just to mechanically make it work. Like, they didn't actually walk up walls, they sort of like walked up to a wall, and their back would touch it, and all these little spider legs would poke out the back and just carry them up the wall. You just see them slide up.
Very creepy.
But like, in order to make that work by the book, I had to have, Slippers and Spider Climb. It was interesting building that character.
Sounds like it. Sounds very memorable. I know you reference this character a lot. It sounds really awesome.
A
So I
lot
feel
of people really hated them.
really,
Oh yeah.
because you were stealing the show, right?
No, mainly because the image of like this lifeless face just opening up and all these spiders crawling out to eat a bandit we killed, and then crawling back into this deflated skin suit, freshly nourished, and going about their day. It just bugged people. They got a little squeamish.
I like it.
I think they're
I
just
like it a
hating.
lot.
What's up?
I think they're just hating on it.
They're
Yeah,
jealous that they didn't come up with it.
people don't like spiders. I get it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't like
I don't see
spiders.
why they got so many legs.
The part people really loved is where the rope came from. Whenever you had to climb something, you just have all these spiders spinning threads, and it got woven into rope, and you just like handkerchiefs at the circus. You just pull whatever length of rope you needed straight out of his mouth.
Here you go, guys.
Well, yeah, why carry it around when you can make your own? Just makes sense.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it
Very,
could have come out the other end. Would have
very.
been more accurate, but less useful.
Yeah, I feel like people would also prefer getting rope that was handed out through the mouth and the butt.
Yeah. It's like of your two options, it's the least bad. So like, be happy it's that.
Yeah, I like it. I would dig that. I would dig that in any campaign.
Okay. I just I
I
added
actually
the
gotta
wrong
use
one.
the bathroom real quick. I'm gonna grab another drink. I'll be right back.
All right.
I ended up messing up that one.
So how have you been?
I've been good. I actually did a lot today. Um, I woke up, brought the dog to go get a bath. Um, and then I went down to or went picked up my prescription, so I was happy that I was able to refill that. Um, yeah, so that was pretty good. Uh, yeah, they didn't tell me right away. Um, until I called the doctor because I'm like, hey, did you guys actually refill this? And they're like, yeah. Well, the pharmacy normally calls me. They didn't call me this time, which is upsetting, but it is what it is. And then, okay, so no, the path I did was I went to drop the dog off, stopped at the DMV. I actually have plates for this state now because my plates expire this month, and I was gonna get this state's plates last year, but by time I realized my plates were expired, or I needed to renew my plates, it was August, and my plates were already expired, so I just reissued them or renewed them in Wisconsin. So then then I came down, so I got new plates, then went picked up my prescription, and then I'm away. I'm like, I could swing by and stop by Home Depot, so that I picked up a bunch of lumber for to make a workbench, so I could put my 3D printer on it in the basement. Um, since I want to put it down there because it's cooler and it'll be better for the I can run the nozzle hotter than if it's constantly if it's cooler down it, and it doesn't get a lot of airflow down there, so like it'll keep its temperature better.
And that way the fumes of the basement's problem.
Yeah. So I was trying to
I have a
figure.
buddy who has a resin printer, and he keeps that motherfucker out on the porch. He's just like, no, no. If it's like summer or winter, he's not even touching it. It's got to be the right temperature outside, but it's going outside.
Yeah, I don't have a
What are you printing?
I have a filament printer, not a resin printer.
Oh, but is it like PLA, ABS? What's up?
I have PLA and PETG right now.
Okay,
PETG.
I've been
Uh,
hearing good things about Pet too.
I found out that PET is recyclable. PLA isn't. I mean, it's essentially just cornstarch.
Yeah, but PLA is biodegradable.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, either way, it's not a bad way to go.
Well, I had a whole box full of just scraps, and I was trying to figure out what to do with it because if you have the material or the equipment, you can remelt. Like if you have a big bucket of scraps, remelt it and then make new, and then put it into filament again. But then I got Petchy. That one, it's finicky. It's I don't know if I have anything on hand that I printed with Petchy, but it's a lot shinier. It makes me. It's more of what you think of when it's like harder plastic. Like I'd say like PLA feel like it's like brittle plastic kind of, but Petchy's a lot more durable. Like I could take it like a PLA, I could take it, throw it at the wall, the PLA would shatter. The Petchy would probably like stick in the wall. Yeah, I forgot what. Why is this in the trash? I have something that I printed with Petchy. But the last big thing I tried printing was it was a dice rolling tower that collapses, and like the bottom, or like the part that the dice roll out onto, will actually come up and put on top, so you can like collapse it together and then put that on and then take it somewhere.
It becomes its own carrying case.
Essentially.
That's cool.
So I set it to print and we left for the weekend, which
Brave.
it's
That's
fine.
a bold move.
Oh, it wasn't the first time I did this either. I did it before and it was fine. Well, the thing with this one is I forgot to turn on supports, and it was all fine except until it got to the top, because the funnel doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of that piece. It starts like halfway, like it goes in like this to drop in the middle, and it's that the bottom of the funnel starts halfway through. So I come back and I have a huge spider web over the entire print, and I'm like,
It was like just trying to poop that stuff into midair.
yeah, essentially.
And just,
I was trying to figure out what the hell happened to it, and I was like freaking out because I clogged my nozzle or whatever. And then like I was going through something else and I was messing with the supports, and I'm like, fuck, that's why that one didn't work. And then I proceeded to print a Darth Vader, a little mini Darth Vader, and then left. Or I started the print and left for the weekend because I needed it the following weekend. So I'm like, all right. So I had to like hurry up, fixed it, or cleaned it up, and then I hit that print. We left for the weekend because the following weekend I was going. It was the gift to the guy I was crashing it, or we were crashing at his place. So I'm like, hey, here, thanks for letting us stay at your place. And that was the following weekend. So like Katie and I left to go. I forgot what we were doing that weekend. But we were gone for 2 days and come back and it's all good. I'm like, excellent. I've left a couple prints run all weekend. Or if I'm gone for a weekend, I'll usually find a solid like 28-hour print and just hit go and walk away. Well,
talk about 3D printing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hit go, check on at 5, like if we're leaving in like 10 minutes, I'll hit go, check on at 5 minutes, make sure everything's sticking, and then I'll leave. Or I'll start it like an hour before we leave, but essentially hit go and then
So as long as it's got that first checkup, then you know.
Yeah,
If there's any other problems, it's so far into the printing process that like it's a scrap piece anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once you get, because the first layer is the base layer, and so once you get like the first 3, I normally say like the first one's just you're hoping it sticks to the bed. 3, the third layer, that's when like if it's gonna peel up at all, that's when it might start. I've had a couple that peel up on the very edges. It's not a big deal, but like if everything's going by the time you're on your third layer, like you should be fine. Well, then it's nothing that you designed is gonna fuck it up. Generally, it's if your printer's gonna fail, it's gonna fail no matter what. But yeah, I just have a Ender 3v2, and it's been boxed up, but now that I have a house and I can actually like print stuff that's going to be useful for the house, I'm like, yeah, probably should actually get that thing up and running. And I also have the Octopi or Raspberry Pi with Octopi on it or Octoprint. So Octopi, so I can monitor it on Wi-Fi. If I had it set up, I can monitor it from outside. But I haven't set that up yet because I think I need my own DNS to do that or pay for something. But if I did that, then I can actually I bought the webcam for it. When was that? February? Or there's the Raspberry Pi cam, so I could just like log onto Octoprint, see the cam of the thing moving around, and be like, okay, it's good. Or I could like remotely hit, oh, it's fucked up, hit stop.
To do that without a DNS, you could try streaming it on Twitch, and then whenever you wanted to check up on it, just check your stream.
I have thought about that. Just start a stream and be like 36-hour print and like hit go, or start the stream and then hit
I feel
go.
like if you did that on your main channel, you would just tank viewership. People would just like roll up and be like, "What is going on?" Or you might find a whole community of people who just like, yes.
I mean, like honestly, watching 3D printers and stuff, like that just fascinates me.
I mean, if you do like a time lapse, sure.
I do have a time lapse
But
too.
watch it otherwise, well, yeah, if you're gonna time lapse of watching it live, I mean, 36 hours of paint drying.
Literally.
Sorry, plastic hardening.
Because we actually just got a robot. Wait, what?
I said the analogy is apt.
Yeah. No, time lapses of those are awesome. I have
those are sick. Yeah, I can watch those all day. But in real time, that'd be rough.
Yeah. No, like I'll watch it. Yeah, I mean, generally it's like 10-minute chunks. Like watch it or whatever. But yeah, I have thought about doing that. I would make like a separate like Twitch channel and just that one is literally
welcome to the 3D printing babysitter channel.
Exactly. But no,
visual ASMR.
I actually took my I have an old or my last phone. It doesn't actually like the reason why I got a new one is the screen broke or whatever. But I got a USB-A female to a USB-C port or plug, and so I plug it in and I can use a mouse with it. So I would, and then I built this little stand. I wonder if it's over here. So I ended up printing this little phone holder, and it's got it's got like these little things that I can adjust. So it's a mini phone tripod, and I literally just take my other phone, set the camera up on video in time lapse mode, and I can set it like I think I did 60-1, so every 60 seconds is 1 second, and I was messing around with like the different on like the 24-hour print that one's 60-1. But then on like a slower print, I might do like 30-1, and then you can watch it go. Octopi has a built-in time lapse function that you can use like the Raspberry Pi cam or you plug-in cam. The only thing, and the difference is like with my phone doing it, it's recording the entire thing. When the Octopi does their own time lapse, essentially it waits until, or it puts the head back to the same point every time it takes the snap, like the picture.
Oh,
so like as it's so like you literally see the thing just rise straight up, but the head is actually in the same spot like the whole time or something like that. Versus like the ones I have, and the head's just like or
Yeah.
but I have but it's a different one. It's a different angle, whatever. Um, the other one, the third option I was going to do was there's a app that you can download that I was going to download on like the other one where it's literally just an IP webcam, and you can turn an old phone into just a webcam that's hooked up to an internal IP address. So
Right on.
if I had my server running or whatever, well, once I get my server running, then I'm gonna do port forwarding and get a DNS so like I can, because I have Home Assistant actually up and running now, and I want to access that when I'm on the go, and so I can either pay for it or I have to like go to Duck DNS or whatever it is, and I can purchase or rent a DNS, whatever, and then I can run it all through there. Then I can take this IP webcam, plug in Home Assistant, and I can just pull up Home Assistant and just, if I'm printing it, just check on it that way. And then if I do it that way, I can run Octoprint through it. So I literally just log into Home Assistant and I can check out the webcam. I can check out Octoprint, which has compat integrations with Home Assistant, so I can like start stop it or start pause and stop it through Home Assistant, so I don't have to go like try to remote into the actual Octopi part. But
I mean, it sounds like if you went that route, you'd also be able to have like security cameras where you could check in remotely too. That would be real handy. See if the
that's a
dog's getting
future
into
goal.
trouble.
Um, yeah, because my buddy actually he runs Home Assistant and he runs it for his parents too. So he actually has a VM set up for them. Um, and at his parents' place, they actually have, I forgot, he told me which integration or which program they use, but it integrates into Home Assistant, and he has all the he runs all his own webcams through that, so he can like go in and check on his parents' place, and well, I mean they log in too, but like yeah. So I whenever I have questions, I bounce off because he works in IT, so like he does it for a living and he does it for fun. But okay,
Right
shit,
on.
what was I doing? Okay, got Donnie done.
You got me done. What are you doing?
Yes. Now I'm trying to make a
Then he's
new,
working on our eulogies.
yeah, for next session. I'm trying to make a new scene.
Trying to decide if he needs to add more bandits.
Yes. I'm working on making a new scene so that like if you go people on watching on Twitch right now, Carnivorous Splurgen's like cut off or whatever, and so I can put all three of us just 1, 2, 3. Whenever there's just three of us in the call, and have us just all post in a row.
Hmm.
Also, Donnie, did you
Yes.
get a chance at the logo thing that I was mentioned?
So I couldn't find out where we posted that picture of the Guild of Brockhart's layout, but I was wondering if this was generally the rough draft you had in mind for it. I don't know if you can see it. I wrote Guild of Brockhart within the circle in very light pencil.
Yeah, that's the overall picture. I was thinking either that or like the guild and on the bottom of Brockhart type of thing. Either way,
The
creative,
guild.
and then on the
Okay.
bottom of Brockhart. Here I'm not on Roll20, but I can pull up Roll20 real quick and put you on it.
Okay, I'll hop on the campaign.
Um, actually, I wonder if I can find it real quick. Campaign of Dan. Right there. Go into Discord.
All right.
Scroll down to Dan's campaign and the thread that's campaign of Dan.
Okay.
And then scroll all the way up to the top. It's like the third thing that's
Oh,
posted.
okay. My
That
memory was pretty much spot on. I remember it was like a two-story building next to a spire of sorts.
whether they're connected or not, I don't know. I think I whipped this thing up in like 10 minutes just to give you guys an idea of what I was thinking for the guild. But like,
Yes.
you have the right idea where like the buildings are in like the main circle, and then it's like it spears out with like the earth underneath
Okay.
it.
Okay. Okay. I like that. It's actually not too shabby. I mean, if this is like just like a coin type logo, it really doesn't even need to be that intricate. So I mean, this is pretty good guideline. Yeah. Okay. I could probably knock that out pretty easily.
Yeah, because I was gonna take that and superimpose that on the battle scene, or like maybe if you draw something else in the future, like just have like a nice little logo and you can make it look clean, and then just like superimpose that in the corner of stuff.
Yeah. Little logo.
Yeah.
I think that works better than any sort of set of characters. I know initially you wanted me to draw like this not like a mural, but like this thing showing like everybody who was in the adventuring band on the way to Akasai. But like something that's just the guild, I feel encapsulates the campaign pretty well because like characters can come and go, people can roll new characters, but the guild headquarters is going to be there.
Yeah. Hey, can I ever spell again? How do you spell your name again?
KFNURGESPLURGEN.
Wait, KFNURG?
Yep.
Nergisburg. Okay. So Discord does this weird thing where like if I'm in streamer mode, for anyone who like picked their username, you know how they are doing away with like the name and then the number sign and then four numbers. Anyone who actually picked their username, when I'm in streamer mode, it literally just shows the first letter dot dot dot.
Nice.
Like the pictures are all the
That's
same or
weird.
whatever. But yeah, it just shows that. And I'm like, what?
Maybe I'll have to go into the Discord and change my name to my name.
Yeah, and like I can't
I think
even.
I'm sorry, go on. I'm just thinking
Oh,
out loud here.
oh, that's why I had it set to So they added hide personal information, which hides emails, connected accounts, notes, and anonymizes number takes recently, and I had that checked, which hides everyone's names.
yeah. Well, I've changed my display name to my profile name, so hopefully maybe it does something.
Oh yeah, that did it.
All right.
Oh, is that all I have to do?
Because my server nickname was blank, so I'm like, well, just put that in there.
Oh, I guess since they're not using the numbers, then that your username is actually more important. That makes sense.
I
Okay.
suppose it's hard to believe that there were 2,318 other Gifnergus slogans, but you never know.
Yeah, I know. Some of this shit's weird. I was creating a guild, like for a community in an MMO one time. Like, I'm Donnie Danger. Can't do that. Donnie dot Danger. No, Donnie Danger 19. Sorry, Donnie Danger 1990. Already take. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Bots.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, it must be bots. I mean, like, I don't know how to explain it because who's gonna do Donnie.danger.1990? Fuck is gonna do that, you know?
You say that.
Needless to say, I didn't take it because it was taken. I'm salty. I'm salty. That's why I like go to for every game. Already taken. It's not even that catchy.
We can do one of these. Add a nested scene. Let's do Nervous plugin. Pick the right one. Try to make it the right size. And then one more. I did have that set. No, Di, this is what I was gonna do that one time when I asked Kenny to not hang up for that one time, and then he immediately hung up because I was gonna do this while we were just chit chatting.
Oh,
You
sorry. Do
remember
you
that?
need me to go back to webcam?
No, you're fine. You're fine. But like the
Oh,
one
okay.
time when Kenny was just like he's like, all right, I had it for the night. I'm like, all right, don't sign off, and then he immediately just hit off.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, end of the campaign. Let's talk about all the things we're good. Oh, they're already gone.
Well, like I was just used. I mean, we're always used to him like just dipping out, and I was fine for that because I didn't need him anymore. But I'm like, hey, I'm trying to set it up so like if only we have 3 people here, that we're good to go. And then
Yeah.
and then he was just like, nope. And I'm like, okay, cool. He accidentally just hit sign off right away, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's okay, right?
I mean, it is a good call, have like backup plans because, like, you look at bigger groups like Adam, like your campaigns don't grind to a halt just because one guy can't make it, right?
Yeah, my current one, there's one DM, 6 or 7 players, depending on how you define it. And yeah, if we're missing a couple, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, so I mean, we should be able to keep going even if somebody here is having a bad day or if there's scheduling conflicts, Have like some sort of backup is pretty good call.
Yeah, if somebody's just like pooping forever, like able to do a session without.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just trying to get it set up so like if you look at the stream now, it's it's nicely viewed with just the 3 of us. I'm just sitting there like,
Looks like the whole stream's frozen. Let me try refreshing.
No, it's on my end. Unfortunately.
Well, this week we've had some power glitches, which was fun.
You've had some power glitches?
Over the course of about 14